Good morning, students of BSc Part 3rd. Yesterday we have completed the discussion of syllabus paper number 9, that is comparative anatomy of vertebrates. Friends, after that today we are going to start that topic of paper number 9, that is digestive system, comparative anatomy of digestive system of vertebrates. Before that, we are going to discuss some introductory part of that digestive system, and then one by one we are going to study the digestive system of pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves and the mammals. So that function of digestive system is to digest the food material. Means what? Definition of digestion is that conversion of complex food material into simple and diffusible or absorbable food material with the help of enzymes. Means to convert complex into simple with the help of enzymes. That one is called as digestion. What is that complex food material? That complex means the food material which we take. That food material contains that food material, majoritarily, that food material contains either carbohydrate, protein, fat or lipids. Such major content of food material which is consumed by different animals, that food material contains carbohydrate, proteins, fats or lipids. That food material is complex. Complex means it is present in solid form. That solid form of food material, it is get converted into insoluble form of food material, it is get converted into soluble form. That complex food material, it is insoluble. That is complex. It is not get absorbed into the intestine, particularly into the blood through that intestinal wall. So there is necessity to digest the food material. Why that food is taken? Because that food material, it contains energy. So that food is the source of energy. So it is consumed by different animals. And that energy into the food material, it is present in chemical form. That chemical energy is present either in the form of, that is simple form of that food material is a sugars, amino acids and the fatty acid glycerol. Means to convert the complex into simple is called as digestion. Complex contains carbohydrates, proteins and the lipids. Carbohydrates, after digestion, carbohydrates are converted into sugars, proteins are converted into amino acids and fats are converted into fatty acid and glycerol. Means carbohydrate, protein, lipid, complex form, sugar, amino acids and the fatty acid glycerol, that one is the simple form of food material which may be soluble may be absorbable, may be diffusible through the wall of intestine into the blood. So that food material is necessary to digest. If that complex form of food material, if directly enters into the blood, and if it is get carried to each and every cell through the blood, then there is no necessity of digestion. But here, that complex form of food material, it is not get absorbed into the blood, so there is necessity to digest that food material. A place where that food material is digested in our body, that place is the digestive system. Means function of digestive system is only to digest the food material with the help of enzymes, and it is get supplied through the blood to each and every cell of the body for the purpose of energy production. That digestion means that digestive system plays important role in digestion of food material. That digestive system, basically, generally, in all vertebrates, that digestive system is divided into two parts. One is alimentary canal and other is the digestive glands. Digestive system divided into two parts, alimentary canal and the digestive glands. What is that alimentary canal? A part of digestive system. What is that alimentary canal? That alimentary canal is nothing but it is what it is. It is the muscular tube, totally muscular. It is not supported by any bone. So that alimentary canal is nothing but it is muscular tube, and it is not straight, it is coiled one, and it is not having the uniform diameter in all parts of alimentary canal. So, in other words, alimentary canal is nothing but it is coiled muscular tube of various diameters in various regions of that alimentary canal. So that alimentary canal is the coiled muscular tube of varying diameter. And another peculiarity is that alimentary canal starts as the mouth and ends as a anus in all vertebrates. Alimentary canal starts as a mouth and ends as a anus. And in between the mouth and the anus it consists of what it is present? Mouth opens into buccal cavity. Buccal cavity opens into pharynx. Pharynx opens into esophagus. Esophagus opens into stomach. Stomach opens into intestine. Anterior part of intestine is called as small intestine, while the posterior part of the small intestine is called as large intestine, and which opens outside as a anus only into the mammals. Here not anus directly opens outside the body in fish, amphibians, reptiles and the birds. It opens in a common organ, that one is called as cloaca. That cloaca is present in fish, amphibians, reptile, birds, and that cloaca is absent into the mammals. So such parts of the alimentary canal, they are there, and their functions are also different. We are going to discuss one by one. What is that mouth? That mouth is the opening which is present at the tip of snout, which is present at the into the snout region, and which is guarded by, that mouth is guarded by the lips, may be movable or may be immovable. That mouth is guarded by lips, that upper lip and the lower lip, such that lips are present, which is guarded by the, which close and open the mouth. Then function of that mouth is intake of food material. That food material is taken into the alimentary canal through the mouth. That may be in vertebrate, in some vertebrates that lips are maybe movable or immovable. That movable, generally they are movable, that is immovable or movable lips are present in vertebrate animals. Then mouth opens into the buccal cavity. Mainly that buccal cavity is nothing but it is the area in between the upper jaw and the lower jaw. Such area is called as a buccal cavity. Then that upper jaw is, generally it is fixed one. Fixed means immovable. It is get articulated with the skull, upper jaw, and lower jaw is movably articulated with the skull. So that movable is the lower jaw and fixed is the upper jaw. In addition to that buccal cavity, it contains a roof of buccal cavity, that is dorsal surface of buccal cavity, and ventral surface of buccal cavity is called as floor of buccal cavity. A roof and floor of buccal cavity. And that buccal cavity internally, it is having large number of mucus secreting glands, which keeps the buccal cavity always moist. So inner side of the buccal cavity is moist due to the secretion of mucus glands, and it is moist due to the secretion of saliva into the mammals and in few, that is partly in birds and fully in mammals, that a saliva it is get secreted, which keeps the buccal cavity moist. Then generally in all vertebrate animals, two important organs are present into the buccal cavity. Two important. That is teeth and the tongue. One is the teeth and another one is the tongue. So teeth are present in buccal cavity and tongue is present into the buccal cavity. The teeth are either similar type or different type of teeth are present in vertebrates. For example, into the fish, all teeth are similar in structure. In amphibians, particularly into the frog, only one jaw contains the teeth, in another jaw teeth are absent. That all teeth are similar in amphibians also. In reptiles also, that all teeth are similar, and in birds that teeth are absent. Those teeth which are similar, they are called as homodonts. That type of teeth which are similar in structure, they are called as homodonts. So dentition into the fish, amphibians, reptiles, that one is homodont type. In all, structurally all teeth are similar, so they are called as homodonts. Generally they are sharp, conical and little bit backwardly directed in them, that is fish, amphibians and reptiles. Such conical pointed teeth in them, they are not get used for the grinding of food material. Generally we are well known about that our teeth. that our teeth are not homodont. Our teeth are structurally different. That is, frontal teeth are called as canines. At the lateral side of canines, not here. Frontal teeth are called as incisors. At the lateral side of incisors, canines are present. Behind the canines, premolars and the lastly molars are present. And last molar tooth is called as tooth of wisdom in only mammals. So, such teeth which are structurally different, they are called as heterodontids, heterodonts. So, why that structural difference? Some teeth, for example incisors, these are used for the purpose of cutting, and such teeth are very well developed into the grazing animals. Means type of teeth in that particular animal shows the food material of it, depends upon the diet of that animal. Means what? In grazing animals, that incisors are more developed to cut that grass. Canines has no function, because function of canine is they are used to pierce and to tear. They are get inserted in that food material and that is pierced, and that particular type of food material it is get teared into the that with the help of that canine. So that canines are not needed to tear the grass. To cut the grass that is true, but to tear it is not necessary. So canines are absent into the grazing animals. So permanently in them toothless space is present. Such toothless space in that grazing animals is called as diastema. For example in goat, for example in cow, for example in buffalo, like that. In them toothless space is present due to absence of premolars and the canines in them. So like that they are called as heterodonts, and function of that premolar and molar is the premolars, they are very well developed into the carnivorous animals. For example in dog, such modified premolars in carnivorous animals, they are called as carnassian teeth. To crack the bones and to shear the tendons is the function of such teeth in that carnivorous animals. In them incisors are not that much developed. In them canines are developed and premolars are modified, carnassian teeth such. And function of that molars, generally in all animals, that molars are used for the grinding of food material. Large food material, it is grinded, it is converted into smaller particles. So that grinding is the function of teeth into the buccal. Listen, we are now discussing the general physiology, not physiology, anatomy of that alimentary canal of vertebrates. That first part, teeth are present, but the teeth which are present in mammals, that variety of function is there for the teeth. Why? Because they are structurally not similar. Different types of teeth are present, and each type has different function in mammals. But in fish, amphibians and reptiles, that teeth are homodont, that teeth are similar in structure. They are generally long, conical, backwardly directed, and pointed teeth are present. Such teeth, they are used for to grasp the food material, to hold the food material, to prevent the food material from escaping at the time of feeding, is the function only that. In, for example, into a shark or the scalodon, that teeth is homodont. These teeth are used only to hold the food material at the time of feeding, or maybe to cut the food material during the feeding, or to prevent the food material from escaping at the time of feeding. All teeth are similar. In frog also all teeth are. Food material is not grinded into the under the teeth into the buccal cavity in fish, amphibians and reptiles. Only the function is, that is just I have told, that function is there. That is difference. That much a branch of medical science is there which only deals with the study of teeth, that is the dental. So one can able to speak more and more upon that teeth, but which is required for us, that much only we are going to discuss. Such a one important organ, that is called as teeth. Second organ is called as tongue. That tongue is generally in reptiles, in amphibians and in mammals. That tongue is muscular, glandular and protrusible. Muscular means it is only formed by the muscles. Glandular means different types of secretory glands are present over the tongue. So that one tongue is called as glandular. And if that tongue is movable, then movable or protrusible. Protrusible means that tongue is either given out or taken in. Movable. Such tongue is called as protrusible. And in fishes and in aves, that tongue is non-muscular. Muscular, but it is not muscular as like that of. Why? Because it is immovable. Means why? That it is internally supported by the cartilage of hyoid apparatus, cartilage, and it is non-glandular. So such type of tongue is present. Function of that tongue is the chewing of food material, or it pushes the food material under the teeth at the time of chewing, and swallowing of food material is the function of tongue related with the digestive system. That is swallowing and chewing of food material. It helps for the chewing of food material. Such tongue is, and without tongue one cannot able to swallow the food material. So swallowing is the function of that tongue, such that buccal cavity is present. Mouth opens into the buccal cavity. Now buccal cavity opens into the pharynx. That pharynx, just behind the buccal cavity, pharynx is present. That pharynx is a common chamber to open buccal cavity as well as nasal cavity or nose. Nose opens into the pharynx, buccal cavity opens into the pharynx. So pharynx is a common chamber for the buccal cavity and the nasal cavity. Through nasal cavity air is carried, through buccal cavity food is carried. So into the pharynx air is carried as well as food material is carried alternately, not at a time. When there is food material at that time, there is no air, and when there is air at that time, no food material. Means at the time of inspiration one cannot able to swallow, or at the time of swallowing one cannot able to take the air in, inspire particularly. So alternately. That pharynx is divided into three parts. A part of the pharynx which is present near to the nasal canals, that much part is called as nasopharynx. A part of the pharynx which is present near to the buccal cavity or the oral cavity, that one is called as oropharynx, and a posterior part of the pharynx is called as laryngopharynx, where the larynx is present. So, sound producing box or the larynx is present. That much part is called as laryngopharynx. So, pharynx is divided into three parts: nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. And function of that pharynx is to carry the air as well as food material, that to pass the food material as well as air through it. That is the function of what that? A pharynx. And posteriorly that pharynx opens into the esophagus and it opens into the trachea. A opening by which it opens into the esophagus, it is called as gullet, and by opening with the help of which opens into the trachea, that one is called as glottis. Glottis is present, opening of air tube, trachea. Opening of trachea is present on ventral side and opening of esophagus is present on dorsal side. So that with the help of gullet, pharynx opens into the esophagus, and with the help of glottis, pharynx opens into the trachea. Through the trachea, that air is carried towards the lungs, and through the gullet, food material which is swallowed, it is passed into the esophagus. In this way, here we have discussed only two organs, that is mouth, buccal cavity and the pharynx. General discussion of that digestive system of vertebrates, and then we are going to compare. If we are not knowing the what is present into the alimentary canal, then how we are going to study that vertebrate digestive system of vertebrates. So we are going to discuss first each and every part of the digestive system, that is alimentary canal and the associated glands, and then we are going to start to study that system of each and every class of vertebrates one by one. So we will stop today here.